This week, we begin a special 5-part series on the classic Universal monster movies as entrees to compliance. The compliance tip of the day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. And now I'd like to say a few words about the latest podcast on the Compliance Podcast Network, AI Today in 5 with 5. Thrilled to announce the inaugural episode of my latest podcast series, AI Today in 5. I wanted to do a short, curated set of stories and news stories about AI for the compliance professional and the greater business professional. You can check it out on Megaphone, the Compliance Podcast Network, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple, or wherever great podcasts are listened to. Check out AI Today in 5. Today we take up another Boris Karloff role, this time as a 2,000-year-old villain in The Mummy who returns to England to wreak havoc. I know you'll enjoy this episode. So what can compliance officers learn from The Mummy? 1. Ignoring history leads to repeated mistakes. The British archaeologists who uncover Imhotep's tomb are warned not to disturb it. The hieroglyphics clearly state the dangers, yet a touch of hubris pushes them to ignore the warnings. The result, the unleashing of a centuries-old curse. 2. Secrets fester in the dark. Imhotep survives thousands of years because he's hidden, entombed, forgotten, buried under sands of secrecy. When he reemerges, he operates in the shadows, manipulating others with half-truths and disguises. His power thrives because no one knows his true identity until it's too late. 3. Culture outlasts controls. What is striking about The Mummy is that even after some 3,000 years, Imhotep's devotion to his forbidden love and Akhenaten drives his every action. The cultural imprint of his choices outlives laws, punishments, and time itself. The same is true in corporate life. Culture outlasts controls. Policies and procedures may be updated, training refreshed, and leadership reshuffled, but a culture of secrecy, corruption, or retaliation exists, and it will endure unless deliberately changed. 4. Obsession with the past can blind us to the present. Imhotep is consumed by his obsession with reviving his ancient love. He manipulates the modern world only to resurrect the past. This obsession blinds him to his present realities and ultimately leads to his downfalls. Organizations can fall into the same trap. Compliance programs that focus on past risks, outdated procedures, old markets, historical problems without adapting to new realities quickly become obsolete. 5. Lack of boundaries leads to unintended consequences. The archaeologists who awaken Imhotep fail because they have no boundaries. They open what should remain closed, touch what should remain untouched, and ignore the warnings etched on the tomb. Their lack of restraint unleashes destruction. This is a classic compliance lesson. Boundaries exist for a reason. In business, these boundaries are policies, internal controls, approval processes, and ethical standards. When ignored, even unintentionally, they create exposure. The global enforcement landscape is littered with companies that ignored boundaries in pursuit of profits. For the compliance professional going forward, they learn that The Mummy endures because it is more than a horror story. Rather, it is a meditation on secrecy, history, obsession, and consequence. For compliance professionals, it's a parable about governance. For the compliance officer, the film offers a powerful reminder. The past is truly never buried. Misconduct, once unleashed, is hard to contain. Our role is to study history, insist on transparency, shape culture, anticipate risks, and enforce boundaries. Like Imhotep, compliance failures rarely emerge overnight. They are buried, hidden, and ignored until they rise up again with destructive force. The Boris Karloff version of The Mummy teaches us that vigilance, transparency, and cultural strength are not only safeguards against being haunted by the past. Said I'm happy to do for you, the compliance profession, is if you have a question or a series of questions you would like some compliance tips on, I'm happy to take any requests that you might want, certainly anonymize them, and give you a quick tip, either one quick tip or maybe a week's worth of quick tips. So if you have any tips you want about your compliance program, you can shoot me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This podcast was created and produced